Alright, here's our lower control arm, and we need to take off the ball joint. We're going to take off the bump stop, and of course the two suspension bushings in the back here. So we're going to flip this over first. This is just held in, that bump stop is held in just by a nut. It's a 1/2-inch nut. So we're going to take that, we'll throw some PB on it. Grab a go ahead and zip this off real quick. Hold on to the bottom. There's that. Okay, one bump stop off, and it looks fairly decent, but the new kits have all this included with it, so trash it goes. Okay, next is your ball joint here, and I usually will take off this rubber cap here. You can leave it on, but you can kind of see it should not move. You should be able to move that. But I believe this is an original 50-year-old GM. So to get that off, ball joints get pressed in this way, so they have to come out this way. Look at all that, just the Oklahoma dirt and grease. Woo-wee. I mentioned my brother, Keith, this is his Firebird. My dad and my other two brothers, who have all passed, are right now up in heaven just laughing their asses off as I do this procedure. So, with that, put the cast nut back on. Usually put it on upside down. If I can get it. Come on, come on. There we go. And I get it down to where it's kind of flush with the top of there. Lots of room there. A couple ways we can do it. You can rent a ball joint removal thing from one of the flaps, which is what I call a freaking local auto parts store. They should have it for you. And I would say a national brand name for an auto parts store. If one of those guys is watching and they want to sponsor, then I'll just talk all day long. I would even put a logo up here with your guys' name on it if you wanted to. Otherwise, it's flaps. So here's our this is the accessory kit. Remember, if you rent these, it is what it is. You get your money back on it. So then you actually have to have a press. And that's this other kit. I'll show you real quick here. And you can see these ones here have been beat to hell and back more times than not. Ball bearing. So let's see if we can't get this ball joint out real quick here. Let's have to push down on that. If that will work. So, go to this side. Too big. So, we're going to throw our little kit here. To find one that will go around that. Looks like that's going to be the one to get the job done. that one goes there. I can't turn this around, that way you can watch it happen. And again, this is kind of a contortionist act. So point concept here. Get that kind of lined up there. Maybe not. The ball joint is out. I'm going to take off these, and these push out from going this way, so there's our control arm. We need to find something to push down on this that will then come into here. So, using that same theory, we may have to just burn this out. How's that song go? Slow burn? No, that's slow ride, slow ride. over center. Now, crush this and drive it back down. So let's see if I can pull this off. Got it out. Whew. Okay. Now that half my stuff on my bench is rolled off. Anybody got marshmallows? Anyone? Ooh, boy, upper control arm on the 67 Firebird. I'm going to remove the ball joint right now. I'm going to get this rubber boot off if I can. It's been cracked already for numbers of years. This is the factory original ball joint from 1967, by the way. And I know this because it's riveted in. So we're gonna have to cut these rivets here. Let's see here. Okay, so those are the rivets that we got to cut off. going to take out this shaft bushing. That came off like that. Here's where the bushing right here. All right, guys. Well, this wraps up this episode of Firebird Fridays. We've completely torn down the front suspension. All the bushings have been removed on our 67 Firebird. Next, we need to clean up those front control arms and stuff. We're going to pull the frame and sand it down, refinish it, and then we'll start the process putting it all back together. So let's take a moment just to see what we have accomplished thus far. All right, there's one passenger side A-arm, ball joints removed, bushings removed. Here's our upper control arm with bushings and ball joints removed. There's that shock or that spring. We'll have to get a new one of those. Kind of see here where it used to be. Kind of back up. We'll be taking this frame off hopefully this weekend. My son Robert's going to be in town and helping Dad, I hope. You can see it's all completely gone out of there. There's that shock, that spring, and there's that lower control arm with the bushings removed. And then there's that upper control arm with that bushing. So with that, we're gonna have to take off the brake booster. We'll remove the power steering box, remove it from the frame, and disconnect some wires. And I think we'll be able to pull out this entire subframe in the front, get it out, and start sanding it down and painting it to put it back in. And that time, we'll also go ahead and take care of our firewall. We'll paint it up as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Drop me some comments if you have some ideas or suggestions. And we will see you next Friday with another Firebird Friday video.